And they're trying to crowbar open the door. Okay, on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and they open it up and it's a steel door. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it.
You know, it seems to me that if you are going to clear out something like a door, maybe you should have something heavy in front of it, maybe a foot out, so they have to squeeze through so you don't get that rush, because the rush of zombies never works. Nothing ever happens.
That didn't seem like a great idea.
Just a thought. That's pretty much it.
Okay. I had some funny things too. I loved when Heath and Eugene were talking. Heath says, anything interesting happening since we've been gone? We had a meeting last night, which is funny because what happened at the meeting. About what? He says, you may want to ask Deanna. Get it from the horse. Her mouth, you know?
Awesome.
And then the thing with Gabriel, I'd like to help as well. No, who else? Abraham to Sasha, he goes, Pete blowing up like Pompeii right when we were cheek to cheek. I still think I got some of the brains in my ear. That
is such a great line.
And then he's like fishing his ear to get the brains out. So
you got brains in your ear.
This works for me. I like having some humor in there.
Yeah,
it's good, especially if it's actually funny.
Yes.
If you go watch Phantom Menace with Jar Jar Binks, that is
hilarious.
The worst.
The best. And yeah.
If you ever want to like something, just go watch that first.
Everything will look great by comparison.
So the title sequence is the same, as far as I could tell.
It did look the same. I was going to ask you what you noticed had changed. I'm glad you said that you didn't see much.
Only the logo, the Walking Dead logo, it gets more decayed each year. If you look at them year by year.
Yeah.
That's it. Abraham, I think he's an alcoholic. I think in fact, I think he was drunk when he was in the car with Sasha. But we saw him trying to put that ring on the bottle.
Yeah.
And the way he was moving his hands, it totally reminded him of when he played John Cusack's high school nemesis in Grosse Pointe Blank at their 10-year reunion. He was drunk.
That was
through that. Yeah. And he read him a poem and everything.
Oh, I'm going to go back and watch. I love
Cutlass has been in a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's a great movie.
I love Grosse Pointe Blank.
I like that the episode picked up right where we left off with Tara waking up. She's pregnant, by the way, Elaine Masterson. That's why they had the blanket up over her belly.
She is?
Mm-hmm. And I hope I'm okay telling that. And that Glenn is all bloody from the thing with Noah still.
Yeah.
Came fresh off that. And he said he got winged by a ricochet. That was kind of a neat little touch. And then the whole line with Tara, somebody, or Eugene's freaking me out. Somebody want to send Noah in here to protect me. It made me realize I miss Noah. I want to see Noah
he's
involved
sweet
in all this.
Boy.
Eugene says Holly was on guard duty but left for a few ticks. Holly was mentioned in the last episode too with, I think Noah said he was hanging out with her or something. She's a character from the comics, but there's no actor for her as far as I know. We haven't seen her. So I wonder if it's going to be like Norm's wife on Cheers where they talk about her all the time. She never shows up.
Yeah, Holly was just here.
She's
just
great.
Missed Holly.
Yeah, she killed all those zombies. It was amazing.
Oh my God, don't you love Holly? I totally love Holly.
She's so funny.
Yeah, she just left.
Amazing. It looks like Deanna's still in charge because Tobin ignored Rick when he said not to bury Pete on site, but then obeyed Deanna.
Yep.
But do you think that Rick is going to end up being in charge?
I think what it's going to be is he's going to be the I think Deanna's still going to stay in charge, but I think Rick is like the power behind the throne kind of thing.
You think it's going to stay that dynamic, huh?
I do. Yeah, because that works. She's like the face of the nation.
Right.
And
people trust her.
And he's the silent enforcer. Not so silent.
Well,
enforcer.
she's more like the Emperor, and he's like Darth Vader. He goes out and gets his stuff done.
Exactly. And chokes people out.
Or she's more like in Lord of the Rings, that one king that his eyes glazed over.
Sauron?
No, the one who like the wormwood was whispering in his ear, and he was like, "Okay, I'll do whatever you say." Like she's kind of out of it, right? She's not really thinking for herself.
She's grieving.
Yeah.
Grieving.
Yeah, and I really think like Rick shooting Pete, I don't think she would have okayed that if Pete had accidentally killed somebody else.
Right.
But he accidentally killed her husband, and that's what
Yeah.
made it okay. So I don't think she's
Excellent.
thinking clearly. I think she's thinking with her emotions.
Yes.
Yes. He didn't mean to kill him. Did he? He was rageful.
did.
I don't think he would have wanted to kill him, but anyways,
I don't
yeah.
know. He seemed pretty out of it.
He was just in a rage, but yeah. I mean, he couldn't keep that up. Like, got to do something about that. Glenn, I'm continue to love that Glenn wants to save people. I mean, Nicholas was one that even I would have killed after him trying to kill Glenn. I would have fully supported Glenn killing him, but
And
he didn't. And now Nicholas is trying to prove himself.
Do you think he is? At first
Yes.
I was like, Glenn, this is the worst idea ever. Don't trust him. He's going to turn on you. And I was wrong. Do you think, I mean, that's another wonderful example of people being redeemed.
Well, I think this show often says, if you're kind, you're going to die. And that might end up being the case here. Like, Nicholas might come and kill Glenn. But what it looked like to me was Nicholas has realized the error of his ways.
Yeah.
Like, at least the way the actor's playing it, this guy's great at charades, by the way. We did, he was on the charades team at Walker Stalker Con. Really fun guy, Michael Trainer.
Are so fucking lucky.
It was fun. I forgot what thing I gave him to do, but anyways, one of the audience members yelled out a clue, which is allowed because we like to have audience involvement, and he was like, "Thank you." He ran out there and gave him a hug.
Oh,
it was really cool.
That's really nice. See, kindness is rewarded.
Yeah. But another funny thing is there was a picture of him, and on the TV was Noah being eaten by the zombies, which his character caused, and he's pointing at it going, ha ha ha. Just laughing. It's so funny. And then, like, when he talks to fans, he's like, and they're like, you're a bastard, you tried to kill Glenn. He's like, I'm going for Rick next. That's what he'll say.
I love him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great.
But anyways, I really do think he's sincere and trying, and I hope it doesn't come back to bite Glenn on the ass, because if every time somebody tries to be kind and take a risk on the show, it gets punished, then I don't believe it. I don't believe in the show.
Right.
I just don't think it's always a bad thing.
Because that wouldn't be real.
Trust and stuff like
I
that.
don't think it's a bad thing either.
Although in this case, like I said, I would have killed Nicholas. And then finally, well, not finally, but I have this. It is finally the Department of Suspension of Disbelief.
Yes.
So when they went by the tractor sales store, and everybody who's awesome at killing zombies was there.
Yes.
And Rick said, okay, we'll come get this place on the way back. And then they go, and then they have to do their plan.
Or they could have done it
away.
when they had 20 people.
Yeah, they should have just done it in the moment.
At that moment.
Then they might have been too late.
We're going to take 5 minutes, clear this building out, and go on.
While we're all here.
And I've got my best ninjas with me. Yeah.
Yeah. When Glenn and Maggie, when they have their whole town hall meeting, and I don't know what Glenn was saying to Maggie, but he was saying something about wanting to watch out for Deanna. I think he was whispering it into her ear, like
take care of her.
Yeah. And nobody else was talking, and they're all really close, and it seemed like they could hear what he was saying. And then he turned and he goes, I'm in, and he said it like a tad hair
just
louder.
About the same.
Like, well, did they just hear what you were saying?
Just hear the whole conversation.
That seemed funny. And then finally, when I thought it was ridiculous when Rick caught Carter pointing his gun at Eugene, that Carter kept his gun pointing at Eugene, who was cowering on the floor, and not at Rick, who's threatening you.
Right, exactly.
So that was a little ridiculous.
That was funny. You're right. Yes, Eugene is the real threat here.
But that's it. I mean, I like the episode. I hope you guys think I've been fair. I thought it had some flaws, but some amazing stuff too.
I think you've been fair.
All right. 4.2. All right, let's take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us. Back. Walking Dead is back. Guess who else is back? Fracture.
I love Fracture. Did I tell you I got a Fracture from my trip to Venice?
No.
Yeah, this summer, David and I went to Venice with Kathy, and we took about 1 million beautiful pictures of Venice. And of course, a couple of them were fracture worthy. And so for David's birthday in August, I surprised him with a fracture.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
what
beautiful. It's a
liked
picture
it?
he took.
That's so
he
nice.
loved it. Yeah, it's a picture of one of the doges with the Lion of Venice, and it's a carving. It's freaking beautiful, and he took a beautiful picture of it. So that's what we did.
It's a great gift.
And it's hanging on the wall.
Reminds me when we were in Boston for Walker Stalker Con recently. I went to school out there, and I made some good friends, and one of whom is in Wisconsin, and I tried to get him to come out during that weekend and meet with some other friends of mine. And he said, I can't make it, but please take some pictures for me for nostalgia or whatever, for nostalgia. And I was on the subway when I got that. So I take a picture of this schlub across the way on the subway, like looking on his phone. And I sent it to Brian. He's like, that's not what I have in mind.
There you go.
Thanks. But anyways, I'm totally excited about Fracture being back. They are our longtime sponsors. They're going to do a few shows here in the new season, and to celebrate, we're doing a contest together.
We are.
It's Best Zombie Makeup Contest.
Ooh.
And it starts now, and they got the URL bestzombiemake.com. So if you go to bestzombiemake.com, you can submit a photo of yourself in your best zombie outfit and makeup and everything, and make a good face, and enter. There's no Photoshop or app retouched pictures. It has to just be what you did yourself. But I think it's 4 runners up get a medium fracture, which is a $40 value, and the winner gets a bigger one. And they're majestic, those big ones. And I think it's over. The contest deadline is just past Halloween, so it's like November 2nd or 3rd.
Perfect for Christmas.
Yeah, and also you know people who dress up like zombies around Halloween.
Perfect.
This is great for them.
Perfect.
So go to bestzombiemake.com for all the details. For people who don't know what Fracture is, well, first of all, the team at Fracture want to say thank you. They say a ginormous thank you to all you guys who have been ordering Fractures and giving them a chance to print your photos. Some people post them on Twitter and tag them, and they love that. And they really want to help you guys use these beautiful glass prints to make your space a celebration of your favorite memories. And so they're happy to see when people actually do that. So if you don't know, it's your photos printed on glass in these really vivid, beautiful presentations. They're great presents, like Karen just said, and Christmas is coming up. So this is a great time to do it. And they wanted us to mention that they get really busy during the holiday season. And so if you want to get one, you should get it sooner rather than later, because they'll get backed up pretty soon. So if you go to fractureme.com, you can buy them or learn more about them. Use the code DEADCAST, all one word, to get 15% off your first order. And big thanks again to Fracture for supporting our podcast.
Thanks, Fracture.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
So Nicotero was interviewed by Entertainment Weekly. He said there were supposed to be around 30,000 Zeds in the quarry.
30,000.
I think that's what he said.
Okay,
yeah.
so whenever I was referencing 20,000 in the podcast prior to this moment,
change
just
that.
mentally change it to 30,000.
But he said about. I think if you said it looked more like 20,000, he'd be like, okay.
Dang. A lot of Zeds.
He said he's hopeful and interested that when the DVD comes out, there will be an all-color version of this episode. Quote, because I think our audience is savvy enough to put those pieces together and put those clues together. No, I don't think so. I think I would have been confused, actually, because I was already kind of confused with the black and white. But that's what he wants to do. They say, what can people expect coming up? I can tell you the level of intensity and the epic scale of the show will not end with just the first episode. We continue to have big, giant, almost unproducible episodes. And it's pain in my butt week after week after week because they're so huge. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, well, they came out of the gate swinging and now they're going to take a breather. You're not going to catch your breath in this season at all. It's just completely relentless week after week.
Yeah. You know, it can't be relentless.
Yeah.
Greg, it can't be relentless. There has to be sort of a
Give
breather.
us a break.
Well, this next episode's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like a two-parter.
Yep.
The whole cast talked to Vanity Fair. Andrew Lincoln said, the zombie count is the biggest we've ever had this season. In just 6 episodes, we've had 2,500 zombies. Compare that to just 967 in the entire season last year.
Wow.
So this is the big zombie season because it's the final season. You heard it here first. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, can they keep upping it every year?
Well,
next season will be the quiet, long talks season.
That's going to be fun.
We're going to have the quietest, longest talks you've ever seen.
And no zombies.
It's crazy how tender this season is. That's what they're all going to be saying. It's unbelievable. Now
Carl comes of age.
Lincoln continued, it feels like every single episode is like a season finale. The threat we face this season will either be walker or human or internal struggle, adding a lot of more drama to the show. Even more drama. And then in that same article, Norman Reedus said the nonstop attention is something he's still getting used to. Quote, it's an ongoing process dealing with fame. I was never the guy who got all the attention. I was known for having a weird face.
He does have a weird face, but man, that guy, I mean, it's weirdly awesome. He's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah, I mean, if this is true that he didn't get that much attention before and that people were just like, who's that guy with the weird face? Then I would feel much more like, oh, good. I'm glad he's coming into his own and everything. But I bet he's always done okay for himself.
With the ladies.
Which is cool.
Come over here, darling. Remember, he put his arm around me. Come over here, darling, into the photo.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get even closer? And then Lauren Cohan on comicbook.com says Maggie and Carol get to interact this season, which is something I've looked forward to and hoped for 5 seasons. It's a whole new world.
Maggie and Carol?
Yeah. I guess they don't really interact that much.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Maggie and Carol. Yay.
Yay. Maybe I hope they fight.
I hope they make sweet, sweet love.
I'm glad you said it.
Do we know how the episode did last night?
No, I didn't find anything about ratings yet, but
we'll report on that next week.
Yeah. All right. That's it for the news. Now it's time for listener moans, groans, and grunts.
Brains. Okay, this first one comes from Larry Blake, who writes, this episode was totally different than the others before it. They could have fell back on the tried and true style from previous seasons, but they masterfully blended a time jump into the newest immediate threat. Very impressive. I agree.
I agree that it was different. Gary Meinke says, I think they're getting too cute with the production. I'm not a big fan of the Pulp Fiction way of presenting. I would have preferred it to run in real time. See, I'm not so sure. Like, as much as I complain, I think I love varied pacing. And if it had been all talking with action at the end, that would, I think I like them jumping around too much. So basically, I just don't know what I want. I just want to complain.
Thank you, Jason. And you, Gary. This one comes from LaDonna Carpenter, who writes, I have to disagree about the production. I thought it was very effective. They explained the decision on The Talking Dead last night, saying that if they had done the real-time thing, the episode would have been very backloaded. Today, we would be complaining that the episode started too slowly and all the action was at the end. Right.
Yep, you're probably right. Evan Berkman said, didn't we just see someone leading a group of walkers? He's talking about... I already forgot the guy's name. Daniel Salazar, yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead. Yes, we did.
They were much smaller, though.
Chris French writes, this was in my top 3 of episodes, I think. So intense. It was great seeing the group work together. I agree. I loved it.
Nancy Wolf says, Judith was born 9 months after Rick initially caught up with the group in Atlanta, yet she doesn't appear to even be 1 yet. Were the last 5 years actually less than 2? I mean, think of all they've been through. How much Chandler Riggs has aged, yet Judith still isn't walking and talking. You know, that's the thing. You can't really reconcile, it's only been 1 year because Chandler.
Yeah.
It's like part of the zombie virus is it slows down the growth of babies, but then when you hit puberty,
it speeds it up.
You just become 21.
Are we going to, now, next time we hear Chandler Riggs speak, is he going to be like, yo, what's up?
Hey, Dad.
I thought about that too. I was like, she seems so young, and I'm thinking, wow, they're really just, they're all over the timeline there. Okay,
so you and I get to moderate the panel with, Chandler Riggs at least. We know that for sure. There may be another special guest on that panel, but that's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun. You know what we should do? We should bring clips of his interview that he did with us that first year.
Oh,
we should like bring just one
Remember
tiny
when we
little
did
clip.
This awkward.
Remember when you gave us one-word answers? Buddy, I bet he sounds much different. But he's still so adorable. I love him so much. Myra Amsden writes, the hurting of the walkers seems so improbable, but I could feel the adrenaline as they went into action and stayed focused on the task that made it believable for me. I wanted it to work.
Yeah, I agree with that. I as much as I thought it was, what word did she use? Improbable. I was like, okay, well, come on, do it, guys. Kristen Halberg said, loved it. I was so excited, and I feel Nicotero really delivered. I love all his episodes, though. He's the best one. That horn is an interesting element for sure. The wolves seemed too easy, so who was it? Was it Ron going over the edge with his hatred for Rick and his teenage tunnel vision getting in the way? Kid seems a lot like his father, perhaps. Was it Deanna, who'd been vacant the entire episode? Is it a new threat? Did someone die on a steering wheel? So many possibilities.
Did someone get busy on the steering wheel?
Yeah, I'm more and more thinking it was probably the wolves.
Yeah, but now for the next week, I'm gonna imagine Carl and Enid.
So I wasn't
bumping into the horn.
So we can ask him about that on the panel.
Yeah, that's fun.
So I wasn't sure John Bernthal had been announced, but he has. I see on the web. So that's that's who's we're doing the panel with. Shane
really
and Carl.
are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Woo!
Yay.
Oh, that would be so cool. I'm really excited. Great. David Deckmar writes, so happy The Walking Dead is back. That was a great episode. I love the black and white and all the walkers and then team ups. And Carol still playing Ms. Innocent.
Carl's still playing Miss Innocent. Brad Galloway says, I know I'm probably in the minority here, but I'm not a fan of the black and white in this episode. It seemed like a cheap gimmick and it felt unnecessary. Maybe I'm wrong, but it could have been better done. The rest of the episode was great, and I'm excited for the new season. I'm also excited for the new season of your podcast.
Aw, that's very, very sweet, Brad. And you're wrong.
Except you're right.
Jamie Gliciano writes, perfect. This was probably the best opener since the premiere. The show doesn't typically do flashbacks, and I thought the black and white was a marvelous way to convey them. Forget fear. The real McCoy is back.
Boris Gradina says, I loved the most how Glenn made Nicholas his bitch.
He did. That was hilarious. You won't say anything. You're going to pay for this. Yeah, he can probably ride that pretty long.
Well, he told Nicholas, you're not going to come with us tomorrow and help because you're not ready, but then I'm going to train you, basically.
Yeah.
And then when Rick was saying, does anybody want to help? And Nicholas looked like he was going to say something, and Glenn just shook his head. Don't say a word. And then he's like, well, they need help, all right? I'll help. So he did disobey him there. But
he did disobey him. Don't worry. Glenn will punish him.
But Glenn then appreciated that he
did
saved Heath's life, and then he let him kill that last zombie.
Oh, Heath, I love you. Pierre
and
Burt.
What would have been the look on Glenn's face if he goes, all right, you can have the last one, and then the last one killed Nick. Oops. Oh, well.
Sorry.
I tried.
Pierre Burt writes, Heath was Dr. Dre and Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, I got to see that. And Michael Harding says that shot of Daryl riding his motorcycle down the road with the walkers following was awesome. I told my wife it was really Norman Reedus on his motorcycle, but it was fans that were really following him.
That's probably true.
Well, they would be like a lot of girls in bikinis, not zombies.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And dudes. All right, time for email.
Okay, this first one comes from Chris from Battle Creek, Michigan, who writes, hi guys, this is my first time writing, but I wanted to give my input. I know I'm probably going to go against public opinion here, but the black and white parts drove me nuts. On the other hand, though, the Walker horde was awesome. I know you guys said you heard there was going to be a huge horde, but wow, it was so cool to see those things falling into the gravel pit and joining the masses.
Yeah.
It was. Thanks for writing.
Yeah, it's funny. I think we've already read two. I think there were more that aren't going to be, that I'm not going to read because there's too many messages, but people say, I know I'm in the minority here, but I didn't like the black and white.
You might not be in the minority so much.
Or just slightly. Mofavo says, hi, Jason and Karen. We're finally here. Really enjoyed the episode. Some random thoughts and questions. What about the neighborhood they moved the zombies to? Wonder how those residents would have felt about the increase in their walker population.
Sorry.
Just send them right up on to New York City.
Yeah, sorry about that. Next gated community.
How funny is it that Eugene is blundering into all kinds of information that Carol should be finding out? Yeah, I guess. That's what she was trying to do, right? Go incognito so she can...
Carol tries to find out information. Really, Eugene was just stealing food.
And then love the contrast between Rick and Glenn regarding the Alexandrians. Rick has decided that none of them should be alive, and Glenn thinks they need to be taught and shown the way. The scene with Glenn explaining why and how to manage the walkers versus Rick just saying, do it. I'm guessing this is going to play out all season. I really enjoyed it. Maybe they will show someone showing everyone how to walk through the woods quietly, look to see if the trees have walkers in them, scanning the area. Yes, I realize they are opening discussing the Morgan-Rick comparison, but I think it's really Glenn and Rick.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, when Rick sent Carter out, you go ahead, Carter, you go up ahead, and Carter immediately gets bit. But it seemed like I watched it, I kept reversing it and going back and watching it and watching it and watching it. It seems like the zombie reached out for him and then pulled him back. Like the zombie was sort of stuck in the trees. And did you notice that? How he got bit and then he got bit on the face? And I'm like, that would have been the easiest thing to escape from.
Well, that was the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's so inept.
Yeah, that any one of Rick's people could have easily gotten out of that.
Yeah.
And that's Rick had just said earlier,
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter whether I kill him or not.
Get...
People like that are going to die.
Right. And they're going to die because I'm going to send them out to die.
That's not what he meant. But, I mean, he has a, what do you call it when you really just detest? He detests people who are weak because he's like, I'll just be thinking about when he's going to screw up, and probably I assume he means, and then maybe put some of the people I care about in danger.
It's not just that he hates people who are weak. I mean, clearly his baby Judith is weak, but he hates people that are weak and then stupid and loudmouthed about it. So this guy also went against him, and he's sort of stupid and loudmouthed, and he's the kind of guy that would get other people in trouble. So that's what he doesn't like. It's not that he just detests weakness. He just detests stupidity with weakness.
Well, he sent all of them. Like when the zombies came, he's like, okay, you guys, you can do it.
Good luck.
It wasn't just the loudmouth guy. It was everybody else who was around.
You go ahead and do that. Yeah. But then he knew he had his backup ninjas ready to fall in, which they did.
And when they did, he was like, no, don't do that. Damn you guys. Why are you saving their lives? They should die. I mean, that's the way I think he feels. Like if they're going to die, they're going to die because they're not strong enough to take care of themselves. It's like, well, you got to train them. All right, let's do a couple calls. This is Charlie from, I think, New York.
Hey guys, first and foremost, welcome back. So glad to have you guys back. Yay. And Karen, welcome back.
Thanks.
I hated Fear of the Walking Dead with a passion. So I did not follow it. I followed the show loosely, but I hated it so much I couldn't even listen to you guys talk about it. Because I think you certainly did like it, and that's fine.
Not me.
Not but anyway, back to the real deal, which is The Walking Dead.
Woo.
Last night, best season premiere of the entire season, period. This thing had me on the edge of my seat. I think it was brilliant storytelling. I think visually beautiful. The juxtaposition between the big zombie hordes and the smaller, intimate scenes between the characters was amazing. Lots of tensions being set up. They cannot go wrong from here on. I mean, they've just gave us so much to look forward to and so many things to explore that, hey, I'm looking forward to the whole season. What I'm not looking forward to, however, is seeing the black man with the bad wig with that god-awful lace front wig. They dragged him on Twitter yesterday, and I thought it was hilarious. Everybody had fun making fun of his hair because it was like cornrows, but like dreadlocks, but like ponytail. I'm just going to need them to pick one style and make it a good one for the black man, okay?
Well, yeah, he looks just like he does in the comic. I think maybe that's another case of when they try to copy the comics. But did you think it looked funny?
No.
It didn't look out of place or anything?
No. He's a charming looking guy.
I was surprised to find that I was kind of missing Fear the Walking Dead watching this.
Weirdo.
Because there's something more stark about that show and a few other factors that make it feel
like no zombies,
a little more real to me. No, there's zombies in it, but there were a couple episodes. But they were great, though. Great episodes that didn't have the zombies. I think this episode with the zombie was actually, I felt like that one annoyed me the most because the other stuff that was going on. But anyways, I was missing it. Yeah, I was like, this show feels a little more like a fantasy to me, which is great. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it more. I like it more than Fear the Walking Dead. But Fear the Walking Dead has something that makes me feel more like, oh, this is what it would be like. I guess that's
interesting.
What it is. Yeah. And it might just be because it happened during civilization. So you have that through line somewhat.
You know, I have to say that the little one-offs, Flight 462,
Yeah.
that to me is more compelling than Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, well, that is Fear the Walking Dead. I mean,
Yeah.
it's made by the same people, and
Right.
they're gonna one of the characters from that is gonna go into Fear the Walking Dead next season.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different
But a
group
couple
and story and
like
stuff.
there's only been like 3 minutes or something so far.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
Well,
I
they
wanna watch it.
showed last night. And
Don't tell me, but I like
won't
the
tell you a
first
thing.
one. I like the first one.
And so far, I'm like, yeah, I got more out of that than I did the entire season of Fear the Walking Dead.
Interesting. All right, so let's see. Timothy Johnson.
Hey, Jason Ken, this is Timothy Johnson calling back again, and I just have to say, wow, a top 10 episode, that's for sure. And I also have to just say, well, the Walker parade is in town. Yep, and there was the float. I wonder what those Walkers would throw out. Probably fingers or some candy. But wow, my favorite part of this episode wasn't necessarily the zombies, but seeing the zombies in black and white reminded me of Night of the Living Dead. That was really cool. And it was just a big episode, and Alexandria is doomed, and I cannot wait to see what happens. It looks intense, but seeing the flashbacks in black and white was my favorite part of this episode, so we'll see. Thank you. Bye.
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 Thanks, Timothy.
Timothy, and then we have Kristen Hallberg.
Hey, it's Kristen Hallberg. So I'm in the middle of watching this, and if I don't talk about it now, I'm not going to talk about it. And I've had 2 glasses of wine, so I feel like talking about it. Anyways, you guys have said for quite some time now that you think Daryl is very one note, and you hate the fact that his voice is like this, like he's some kind of gritty guy. But I think I said before in a post once, I'm pretty sure, that when you're dehydrated or when you come out of some kind of night of partying and you smoke too much and you had no water because all you had was booze, you wake up and you sound like something died in your throat. Well, I just watched a scene between Rick and Daryl had a wheelbarrow, and he was talking very normally because he is fed and he's slept and he's hydrated and he's normal again. So I just wanted to point that out, that this is actually not a one-note character or a one-note actor playing a very complicated character. This is somebody who understands the elements and is playing his voice to the elements. And that's something to actually be applauded. So that's all I wanted to say. I'll talk to you later. You guys are rock. Bye.
I'm not sure I think he's one note. I think that the phrase I've used a lot is too cool for school. So he wears his vest with the sleeves cut off, and his hair is, similar to what you're saying about his voice. Yeah, it looks like it could just be that way because it's messed up, but I get the feeling that it took a lot of time to style it, and he could also be walking down a runway with that hair. And his voice could be that way because he's dehydrated and he's been out in the elements, but it also just sounds really cool.
Really cool.
So I don't buy it. Sorry. But as I've said before, I have definitely appreciated his character in a lot during the show. And he doesn't stand out like, oh man, I wish he wasn't on there. No, I like his character, but it just seems a little bit like he's too cool for school sometimes.
Ever since, speaking of voices real fast, I actually like his voice. I like the voice of pretty much everybody on this show. I appreciate they don't have anybody whiny on the show or with the vocal fry, because the vocal fry just...
You're doing it now.
I did it on purpose.
No, I mean, still.
I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay. I do it all the time.
It's awful. Do you? No, you don't. I don't catch you
should
doing
listen to our
vocal.
podcast.
Yeah. Do I have to?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, good.
Not if you don't want to hear the vocal fry.
I don't want to hear vocal fry. God, do you have a filter for that?
No, I like it.
You do not like vocal fry.
I do, yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, totally.
It's very modern.
If you listen
sounds
to
very
me,
modern.
I talk like that a lot, like this, or I'm doing right now.
Uh-huh.
That's how I talk.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And not everything I say has the vocal fry, but it dips into it quite a lot.
I don't know.
And I like that because Ira Glass does it too. And
Ira Glass does it. It's adorable when he does it.
yeah, I think so. All right. Well, one thing I forgot to say about Daryl this episode is he's the one saying, we need to bring other people into the group because that's actually how we're safer. And I am sort of like, that's what happened to Fonzie. He started off kind of a bad boy and a contrarian, and he became the saint.
Right.
Like,
he evolved.
And, that's the little devil on my shoulder saying that. And the angel saying, yeah, he just evolved. He learned that teamwork is good. And yeah, Happy Days was one of my favorite shows growing up. Definitely.
These days are ours. All right.
When Daryl says, step into my office, and then he goes into the bathroom, jump the shark.
Or when he hits his motorcycle and it starts up.
Yeah. Or when he actually jumps over a shark like Fonzie did. Okay. So now it's time for our next sponsor. That's Harry's, which I love. Harry's does razor blades and razors and shaving cream and gel. And they're one of the sponsors that I reached out to before anybody was helping me get sponsors, because I already used their product and I was happy with them and I knew I would feel good about talking about them. If you go to harrys.com right now, by the way, that's HARRYS.com, they'll give you $5 off if you type in coupon code DEADCAST with your first purchase. So yeah, just enter coupon code DEADCAST at checkout for $5 off. I don't shave every day, as you can tell. But that means that when I do, I want to have a good razor, or it hurts.
Yeah.
If I don't.
Yeah.
And I also shave down here a lot more often, like my neck. I'm going to be Luke Skywalker at Walker Shocker Con, and I'm thinking I should probably shave for that, since he doesn't have any stubble.
He probably doesn't know.
But Harry's, they make their own blades. They purchased this factory in Germany, and they have high quality, high performing German blades crafted by shaving experts. And so it just feels good on your face. They're the only razors I use anymore. Another reason why, do you want to talk about yourself?
I do. But I don't mean to.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I know that Harry's is sort of marketed towards dudes.
It seems like, yeah, they're kind of masculine designs.
I'm here to tell you that they're wonderful for women. And for one thing, they've got really beautiful razors that are in interesting colors. I got the bright orange one when I got mine, and I use mine every single day. I shave, I'm going to go ahead and just say it. I shave my underarms. I shave my legs. I mean, that's a lot of real estate, right? I shave my bikini line occasionally.
Where else? No, I'm just kidding.
That's really it. I like a clean chassis. And I'm telling you, this is such, I mean, I honestly think I shave more real estate than a dude does, because a dude's like just shaving his face.
Yeah.
And I'm shaving legs. I'm shaving
legs.
The whole, I mean, that,
right.
I'm telling you. And they're the best. I love my Harry's razor. I love it. I love it. I love it. So women, do not be afraid to order these for yourself. You will not be sorry. Well, I'm here to tell you.
There's a lot to like. The design is really cool. It's kind of minimal, which I love, and it's just kind of classic. There's a couple different designs to choose from. One of the best things is because they have this efficient business model, since they own the factory, the cost is nearly half of what you'd pay in the store. So you're paying less money for higher quality stuff. That's kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
The starter set is only $15. You get a razor, moisturizing shave cream, and 3 razor blades. So instead of paying $32 for an 8-pack of blades, you can do this. And if you get the $5 off, it's your first purchase, it's only $10.
It's unbelievable. It's such a good deal.
So they say you save about $150 a year on blades.
Christmas
using Harry's
is coming, people.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's a
Whoever
great
you
one.
give this to is going to just love you, because they're so great.
And your satisfaction is guaranteed. The shipping is free right to your front door. So again, go to harrys.com, use coupon code DEADCAST for $5 off your first purchase. That's HARRYS.com, coupon code DEADCAST.
And
Thank you to Harry's for your support.
Thank you, Harry's. And don't forget to tell us if you order them and you like them. I want to know.
All right, now it's time for Comic Talk with Mr. Blog and Gracie Lee. They're back. I know there was some stuff from the comics, so they're not actually going to record this until later, but you're going to hear it right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Talk. It's been, way too long since we've been here. We've been excited to be able to talk about The Walking Dead again, and man, last night's episode did not disappoint. What do you say?
Yeah, I am so glad to be back.
Yeah, so let's just get right into this. There were, I don't know, I wouldn't say too much out of the comic book, but...
Nothing major.
Exactly. Nothing major. But I'd say at the very beginning of this, the first thing is just having Morgan in Alexandria.
Finally.
Yeah.
She's finally with Rick's group.
Yeah, because when they first get to Alexandria, Morgan's already with them. They picked him up on the way there. So this felt...
way before the Hunter's Arc. You're the Hunter's Arc? Yeah, he was there.
Was
for
it
all
before
of
the
that,
Hunter's Arc?
Yeah.
Because
they were on the road to Alexandria or DC at that point when all that happened. And so I
think that happened after the Hunters. That was right after the Marauders.
I don't know. Well,
yeah, whatever. Regardless, he was there in Alexandria the entire time. So it's kind of wonderful to have him back, and it feels like this great confluence of the story where everything is really coming together. And of course, part of that is repopulating all the people we know and love from Alexandria, such as
Heath. I was so glad to see Heath. Yay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And God, that actor looks exactly like the Heath from the comic book.
Yeah, they got him looking really close, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was like he just stepping right on out of the book, and there was Heath. I couldn't believe it. And his buddy Scott, who's
uninjured at this point.
Who is uninjured at this point. Now, the first time we ever meet him in the comic, of course, is when we first meet Heath, when Rick and everybody's first getting to Alexandria. He's the one that fell, broke his leg.
Yeah, in the city. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Now, it is because of this, Heath being worried about Scott being injured, that he gets to know Dr. Cloyne really well, right? So we haven't met Dr. Cloyne yet, but I'm pretty sure she's in the cast this season. So I think something bad is going to happen to Scott. Sorry, Scott.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, exactly. But it was great to have both of them there. And I love the way that they were introduced, about having been out on a run for the whole time. It fits perfectly with their character, the way that we do know and love our beloved Heath.
Indeed.
Also, they mentioned Holly a couple of different times, I think, in the episode. Still haven't seen her yet. Tobin, of course, I think had a little bit more of a role. So, we're seeing Olivia was there at one point. She did pop up. So
it's nice to see the familiar faces, isn't it?
Exactly. So, speaking of familiarity, one of the things I really loved was right off the bat, Morgan is sitting there chatting. I don't even remember what it was he was specifically talking about, but he says the words, "No way out," which
that was great.
I think to every comic reader, we're like, okay, that's what we're getting. I mean, we knew it right at the beginning when we see this giant herd in a quarry. And of course, the setup to all of that is quite a bit different.
Yes.
Way different. I mean, the herd arrives to Alexandria in the book because Rick fires off the shot to kill Pete, and then what are they called in the scavengers show up, big gunfight, and that's what draws them in, right? So this time it is going to be by Rick's hand, sort of, except for that whole horn blast. And I'm sure Jason and Karen have discussed who they think is honking that horn. Is it the Wolves? Is it Carl 2.0? What's his Ron? Who, of course, they've aged up quite a bit, because that is not the little Ron in the comic book.
No.
So what else was a bit different or similar to last night's episode?
Well, Pete's burial went differently in the comics. I think in the comic, Rick actually talks Douglas into allowing Pete to have a funeral. They were having a funeral for a couple of the other people that died. And Douglas was against it, but Rick turned him around, and he said, Pete's dead. The funeral's not for Pete. Obviously it's for the people who knew him and his family. And so Douglas goes along with it. So very different, where here Deanna And basically agrees with Rick and says, yeah, take him out. He's not even going to be buried on property. So,
although they are getting the fact that in the book, Douglas sort of shuts down after all these events.
Yes.
You know, so they do seem to be getting that well as well. That Deanna is, you know, although sort of functioning, she's pretty much giving everything over to Rick. Now, remind me again who. Oh, that's right. It was Tobin who ends up taking Douglas to task for the fact that because isn't this the point where Douglas asked Tobin? No, that happens. That already happened. Never mind. I forget who. Maybe it's not Tobin that took him to task, but somebody takes Douglas to task for relinquishing so much power. Maybe it's Aaron. I think it is Aaron, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
So I think that may happen soon.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening. I had actually forgotten about that little bit in the comics, so that's a good little pickup there. So Jesse and Rick, it's going down a little bit differently. In the comic, Jesse was kind of relieved that Pete was dead. I mean, she said she was sad and she'd miss him, but she was kind of relieved, and she was much more accepting of Rick's friendship, I'd say, than
I think Jesse. In the book, she pretty much jumps his bones. Like, I don't know, it seemed like 20 minutes. I don't think the blood had dried on her from Pete's face, but, you know, she was just like down for whatever, you know, with Rick. It's like, whoa, lady.
Needed some comforting.
Yeah, she needed some comforting. So it is definitely playing out a little bit different with that. But, you know, it hasn't been shut down quite yet. So I don't really know what to make of this. I'm assuming they're going to still be going straight ahead with the Rick and Jesse relationship. I mean, what do you think? Do you think they're still going to go? I mean,
I think they still might, because it plays into a lot of other storylines that I can't imagine them skipping. So,
well, and speaking of relationships, what about Michonne and Morgan?
I thought they were kind of teasing that this week a little bit with the whole the peanut butter protein bar thing.
Yeah, well, which she did steal. So,
but she was pretty amused by that whole thing.
No, absolutely, and I think there were some little sparks there as well. I mean, I also saw maybe some sparks with Morgan and Carol, but I think that was more I'm on to you, and I don't know if he's on to me or not. So, good stuff. I don't know. Can you think of any other things from the episode that were straight out of the comic book, other than the things that we've thrown out there already?
No, I think that about covers it. And some of them maybe
we're forgetting a huge thing. What about the showdown with Carter basically getting together with everybody to conspire against Rick?
Oh, similar to Nicholas?
It was exactly like Nicholas. I mean, that's exactly what Rick says. You think you're gonna kick him out and him out and her out and me out, you know. Says that exact same thing. The only difference was it was Glenn that overheard the plan as opposed to Eugene. And of course it was not Nicholas, or it was Nicholas. It wasn't this Carter fellow who's the made up fellow. But I think everybody who was in attendance at that meeting is basically the same group of people.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's where Olivia showed up. I forget who else was there, but it was Heath was there as well, if I recall correctly. So that was virtually identical, and the same thing with him assuming he was going to be killed and Rick going, no, I'm not going to kill you. I kind of wish we got more of that Rick speech of, no, I don't want to kill you people. We can all do this together. That's the last thing I want to do. But, you know, the show had to put him back into crazy town a little bit. Like, I just want to kill everybody. Which is a little different, I would say, than the book. We've been through periods of that in the book, but not to this degree. So, barring that last little bit that just popped right back up into my head, any other thing that
I'm glad you remembered that one. Nope, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, great to have Jason and Karen back. I'm sure the show was absolutely fantastic, at least up until this point. So until then, we'll hopefully see you again next week.
All right, we're back, and it's time for
Next week on The Walking Dead.
It's waiting to see if it really finished.
I know.
Next week on The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 2, and the title is JSS. Dun, dun, dun. There was a preview that showed Enid taking out a walker. So this is a preview. And then she gets in the car, and on the car window, she draws the initials JSS. What do you think it stands for?
Jason
Yeah.
shaves sometimes.
Sometimes. Jason shaves sometimes.
With Harry's.
With Harry. Wow.
Get an extra $10 for that.
JSS. It's
I don't know.
Kind of mysterious, right?
What did the description say?
The official description is just when it looks like things can return to normal, or as normal as things can be in the apocalypse, a new problem arises for the Alexandrians. That tells us really nothing.
Except, well, things return to normal and a new problem, right? Like, how does that fit with what we just saw?
Yep.
Well, I guess what's normal is that they always get driven out of wherever they're trying to live by zombies.
Yes,
So that's how they
exactly.
return to normal.
That's
Oh,
normal.
Look, this feels more like what we're used to.
Right. We're
Remember
walking
the
through the
prison?
forest. We're walking. It's written by Seth Hoffman, who's written 8 episodes, lots and lots, including Conquer the Distance, Us, and Claimed. Directed by Jennifer Chambers Lynch. Yes, David Lynch's daughter, who previously directed the episode Spend, the one where Noah gets killed by Nicholas. The Walkers, because of Nicholas, which is not my favorite episode, but because I thought it was too
I loved it.
brutal.
I thought it was well
I
done.
know you loved it.
But
loved
I mean,
loved it.
well, like, let's say, you can't really blame that on her. She didn't write it. So she got that script and had to direct
fully
it.
blame her because she got the camera pointed at my poor
It's like,
Noah.
we need to see more gore here, people.
Right. That's pretty much
Thank you,
it.
Jennifer Lynch. All right, that's it. Are you ready to close it out?
I am indeed.